Hi, I'm the incorrect announcer, and you're listening to the 10 Pints of Alcohol podcast with your hard-drinking co-hosts, Albert and Seth. These guys get increasingly sozzled as the show continues while they taste test and discuss different variations of what you limeys call Larga. I'd skip this one just before they get to the 7th pint and cut your losses, boys.
Hello and welcome to the 10 Pence Arcade podcast. This is podcast number 210, where we talk about Nibbler among other things. We've had quite a lot going on in our lives, haven't we, Alex?
How you doing, Shaun?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate.
Ask me how I am. Hello.
Yeah, you're right.
Me.
You're right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm all right. I'm here. I'm doing all right, mate. Yeah, we have had a busy month. Well, it's been a funny old one, February. Really funny. I think the weather has played a big part on things not happening, really. Not a lot been happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been all right. I just can't wait for the summer now. Can you?
Yeah, I love the summer. I love all weathers, really, but I like a bit of rain. Me and wife like going walking in the rain, you know?
Yeah, I've struggled. Well, because my walking boots have got holes in, mate. Oh. So my walking stopped. Just couldn't do it anymore. I've got to get some more walking boots. But I will get back to it. But it's been so cold. Unbelievably cold. It's not very inspiring when the weather's like this. Do you know what I mean? Because all the footpaths are all muddy. There's puddles everywhere. You know, it's just... Yeah, well, stop whinging, really, shouldn't I? Just get on with it. But what you been up to, mate?
Right. I've found the old 10 Pence Arcade podcasts are on Spotify. All of them. They're all there from 1 to 199. So they must have, because the host has shut down, and if you went on our old website and clicked on it, there'd be nothing, you know, it'd just be a dead link. But these are all there. So if you want the 10 Pence Arcade podcast number 1 to 199, they are on Spotify.
Excellent.
How mad is that? Because I was uploading them and causing all sorts of stuff, you know, causing all sorts of clashes with the ones that I were uploading.
And what are we now, 10 years old?
Yeah, 10 years last October, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no, hang on, January.
Yeah.
So it might be 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was you were there right at the start, weren't you? Do you remember listening to it right from episode 1?
Yeah.
How did you find out about it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Was it UK VAC?
Yeah, maybe. It could have been. Yeah, it must have been. It must have been, yeah. Yeah, so.
You trolled us for ages, I remember.
Yeah, and then I started putting the scores in, and then I started doing the pictures, didn't I?
That's it, yeah.
I better get him on. He's brilliant, him. He's far better than Vic. That's what you said, didn't you? I know he listens to this, doesn't he? Yeah.
So that's great news for the 10 Pence Arcade podcast. Everyone can now. And what are the other sites? Are they all uploaded on the other sites as well?
No, just that one.
That one.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is a bit. Well, I can't believe we're up to 10. I've done 10 already.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
That's mad.
10 months.
Oh dear.
What else? Oh, this is. I got some bad news followed by some good news. I factory reset my phone because the people at SEAT said your phone, because the sound kept cutting out on my Android Auto sat-nav. SEAT, so they said try a factory reset and come back to us. So I tried a factory reset and nothing happened. But during the factory reset, I lost all my texts and my call history. I did something. There's a Google Backups folder, and I deleted the wrong backup. So the backup that I put back onto the phone was a brand new backup. So I should have got away around it and got that old backup, and then ripped all the texts and call history out of that, and then done a backup. But I didn't think, and I deleted that. I deleted the one with all the information in.
I bet the blood left your body, didn't it?
Yeah, because I was uploading the. Right, I put this new backup on, and it said 6 new messages. But 6, I've got like 9 million. on text, it's 6 new texts, and then I realised what I'd done. I thought, oh my God, I've lost all them chats. So then I went into spreadsheet mode. I thought, right, who still contacts me on this text? And there's only 16 people that contact me, like hospitals and car garages and stuff like that. So, but the good news, Alex. We've got. I'm trying to read it now.
I'm waiting.
We've got now full fibre in the house, full fibre broadband.
Well, how many? Let's just rewind a little bit. Your texts, right? So you lost all of your correspondence with people.
Yeah.
Like all the texts.
Yeah.
You didn't lose your contacts. You just lost all the texts.
Yeah, got the contacts, but didn't keep the call history. So
right.
that's the thing, because I can't remember who's called me. I wouldn't.
But that doesn't matter, though, does it?
No, it doesn't matter. But people that have texted me saying, I'm stopping at someone's Airbnb in August for Pinfest.
Right.
And I can't remember what it said, and I can't read it now. so I've got to say, what did you say, Lisa? I can't remember.
Okay, I'll let you off. Yeah, that's pretty annoying, isn't it?
It is.
I've done that once, ages ago, but I managed to save half of it.
Oh, did you?
But you're so reliant on these things now, aren't you? You know? Everything. Yeah. It is, you just carry it around, you're constantly looking, it's constantly buzzing, telling you someone's messaged you, emailed you, WhatsApped you. You know, it's just like, ugh.
See, a lot of it I've got on WhatsApp and email anyway. So I've got all the WhatsApp, I've got all the emails, I've got all the photos because they're all in the cloud. I've got all the videos, and so all that I've got. Yeah, it's good. Just the feeling, the feeling. What have I done? But it doesn't matter really.
No, life goes on.
Yeah,
you still get a bit of bread and butter.
Yeah.
And a pint of beer. Right? That's all that matters. You play video games.
Talking of video games, I went to Arcade Club Leeds for a pinball meetup last Friday with Tony, DJ Rouge, and his son Jim. His son Joe. Joe is an Amiga addict. He's got 2 Amigas. And he makes music with these 2 Amigas on old sound trackers.
Oh, and cool. A lot of people do that.
He mixes it down to mono and then puts it on cassette. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only like, I don't know, maybe 20 odd. So that was good. And lots of pinball. The pinballs are played. Medieval Madness, Addams Family, Iron Maiden, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Videos, I've got a few videos in. Power Drift Full Motion, have you gone in that?
Not the full motion one. Someone asked me about it the other day, actually. Was there a Power Drift Full Motion? And I've never seen one. They've got one there, haven't they? Huh?
Yeah, it throws you. It's a completely different game. It plays it plays so well, and you're leaning into the corner. It really throws you around
because you're going around. It looks like a roller coaster. You're going on a roller coaster, doesn't it? The tracks all over the place.
Yeah, you actually feel that. That's cool. And also, I played, which I was trying to play it for a while. Dodonpachi True Death, which is the latest Dodonpachi Bullet Hell. And it's on exA-Arcadia hardware, which is a Japanese thing where there's loads of fighters on it. It's like you can buy like cartridges for it. It's like a cartridge machine.
Yeah.
I think the little PCBs really. That was £600, I think, for what's it? Time Pilot I played. That is like, I reckon it's like a Defender, because you on your left arm, you're really ragging it around to try and get everything. And really, you just stay in the centre of the screen. It's a clever effect. And
Time Pilot, yeah. I mean, don't you just? I just find myself going in one direction and just sort of spraying in that kind of between 1 and 3 o'clock. Do you know what I mean? Instead of going, some people just go all the way around, don't they? Try and shoot everything, and I think that's the mistake you can make. If you just carry on going upwards.
Yeah, you can do it on the first couple of screens, but you can't do it anymore because the missiles catch you and that, so you've got to keep swooping under them. And have you heard of Virtual On?
No.
It's a robot combat game in a big arena, and you're strafing and you're firing bullets. I got onto level 3 without ever playing it, and then I got owned. as they call it. But it's a nice little game. It must be late 90s or early 2000s because it's polygons. But it's robot combat, and you can go up and melee the robot and then like fly and all sorts.
Okay.
I think
what year is this then? Late 90s?
I don't know. I'll have to have a look. I think
Yeah.
it looks like, there's a whole series of them. It could be it looks like 2003, something like that. But that's good.
What did you think of the Iron Maiden pin?
Oh, it's awesome, isn't it? It's so good. DJ Rude was on it, and he was just playing it for ages. He was getting all the shots. I got 22 million thinking, I'll beat everyone else. And he's got like 90 million in a replay. Like,
wow.
He's such a good player, he is. He really is. He's got pins at home, though, so that helps.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, did you like the theme? Do you like the theme, the music, Maiden music?
Not really.
Can't imagine you do.
No, not really into
that. Not your thing. No.
But it does add to it.
With the sound down, didn't you?
all them guitars. It does add to the atmosphere.
Oh, cool.
So that's what I've been up to. Messing up the chat history.
You got new internet as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Have I said this?
Well, you started to, but I probably interrupted you like I normally do.
Yeah, full fibre internet in our house. 900 megabits download, which you divide that by 8 for megabytes. So it's like, I don't know, what is it? 100 megabytes a second download and 100 upload. So that's good for streaming, 100 megabits per second. So I reckon you could get one of them big, like, COD games that are 50 gig. I reckon you could download that in 6 minutes.
Wow. I wish I could get that for here. Our internet is so slow here. We're in the middle of nowhere. It's so bad. But no, that's good, mate. Very, very cool. Well, I've been down in Salisbury. Sorry, not Salisbury. I passed Salisbury. I've been working down in the New Forest on my mum's house because she moved down there just before Christmas. Building her path, brick path, lovely country path I've built for her. But I mean, the weather's been so cold, mate. It's like I do a day here and a day there, then I have to travel back and come back the next week, do a bit more. Because it's just been too cold for anything to go off, which is a bit annoying. But I have managed to sort of see a bit of the area. And one town I wanted to go and see, because I've always passed through Salisbury. It's one of those towns you pass through if you're living in London and want to get down to the south coast, to Cornwall, Dorset, Devon and all that. You always go through Salisbury. But I've never stopped off, and I've heard it's such a lovely old town, so I had a walk round there. It's beautiful. Loads of lovely independent shops, which I like. There was a record shop there, which I had a walk round, a little mooch around in the record shop. And then I stumbled across a little arcade, which was a nice surprise. And it's called, what is it called? Well, I've lost it now. High Score, that's it. And they had a bunch of pinballs in there, Shaun. You'd love it. They had...
Yeah, I saw the pictures of some really good pins, isn't there?
Yeah, old school ones.
Yeah,
well, there is a couple of modern ones. They've got Pinbot, Bride of Pinbot, Demolition Man, Judge Dredd, Fishtails, Barracora, I think it's called, Adam's Family, F-14 Tomcat, Twilight Zone, and they had a big twin sit-down Sega Rally Cab and a few generic kind of arcade machines which had flat screens in running MAME, which is okay for the sort of casual gamer. But I had a pool table in there. I mean, it was a small place. It wasn't very big, but it was just nice to see and just go in there and just. It was £10, I think, for. I can't remember the hours now. I think it was about 4 or 5 hours, something like that. I was only in there for about half an hour because I had a parking ticket that was going to run out in there. So I didn't spend that long in there, but I thought I'd give them some money and just have a quick whiz round, and quite enjoyed it. Tiny little place. But it's nice to see, and it's nice to support these little places, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, really cool. So yeah, if you're ever near Salisbury, stop by and check out the High Score Arcade. and all the other little shops. There's so many lovely little shops in Salisbury. I really enjoyed walking around that town. And then on the way back, this was so weird because we were walking around in the countryside in the New Forest. There were some really weird sheep there that I've never seen before.
Weird sheep?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like you were staring face to face with the devil, Shaun. They've got that look. Can you see that picture I put up? This sheep has got 4 horns, and it just looks so bizarre.
Is that not 2 sheep stood by each other?
No, that's 4 horns coming out of one sheep.
Is that not a goat?
No, it's a sheep. It's called a Hebridean sheep. Hebridean up north. Anyway, it's a very old breed of sheep. Goes back to, I don't know, the Viking era. I'd never seen anything like it. And having looked the sheep up, apparently they can grow up to 6 horns and look quite devilish.
That's bizarre, isn't that weird?
Yeah, very bizarre. Yeah, but nice to see. That's what's nice about the New Forest. It's all kind of, it's not all wild, because I think a lot of the ponies and a lot of the horses are owned by someone. But it's just nice to see them freely roaming around and not in a field. Do you know what I mean? You can go up to them and feed them, which is quite nice. And then on the way back, I was driving back with the family because we went to see my mum on the Sunday. I noticed a barn owl sitting on a stump about, I don't know, 100 metres in front of us as we were driving along. So I slowed right down. As we slowed right down, the barn owl was literally a metre away from the car. We wound down the window, and as the window wound down, the thing flew off. And it was flying along by the window at the same speed of us, about 10 mile an hour. And it was amazing to see. I've never been that close. Or actually, I don't think I've ever seen a barn owl in the wild. You all see them at these kind of zoo places, don't you? But never seen one in the wild. And just to see one that up close, flying alongside you in the car, was incredible. Incredible to see. Absolutely amazing. I loved that.
Do they live in barns?
Well, I guess that's where they get their name from, Shaun. Yeah, but
yeah,
no,
live in barns. That's all right.
But it was that time of night. It was just about dusk. You know, I think that's when they come out to feed, isn't it? Their eyesight's at their best then. But yeah, that was really cool to see. Yeah, that was about it, really. I haven't really been much. I've been kind of shifting things around in the games room a bit. I moved my turntable over to one side of the room, shuffled some Vectrex games around, moved the Vectrex over here, because I've got Vic's arcade stick, which before I had to have on my lap. And I don't really like having arcade sticks on my lap, so I stuck it on my cocktail machine here, just underneath the Vectrex, and it plays a lot better now. It's just a lot, I don't know, it just feels a lot better having an arcade stick on a solid base and not on your lap. So yeah, just bits and bobs really, not much. This month's gone so quickly. It really has. I couldn't believe it when you said we're doing the podcast this week. I was like, really? Blimey. It felt like yesterday we did the other one, you know?
Yeah, it's gone quick, isn't it?
Yeah, really quick.
It's a good job we had a decent game to keep us going.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That's probably why.
Oh, dear. Right. We asked you, lovely listeners, for some game room pics, and we've got a few, actually. Send us pictures of your game room. This one is Mark Happy Dude. He sent us 3, actually. I help him build this. I was the mastermind behind his layout, you know.
Right.
It's not a shed. It's a game room. He's got, like, on the first picture, he's got asteroids back to back with Centipede, and then a lovely sofa in the background with some, what are they called, them lava lamps. And then he's got another image of that. What he's got on the second one is you just can't quite see it. It's a wide screen, like a wraparound, maybe 40-inch, 50-inch wraparound screen. And I think I said I was playing Darius on that. That's cool. And then a big screen. And then he's got his little what are they called? Not Dino Kings.
Dino Kings, yeah.
Style of cab, and then 2 lovely candies there. So I designed all that for him because he were in a right mess.
What, you designed the layout of where the cabs were going to go?
Yeah, I did.
Well, I think you've done well, because I was just going to compliment you on your on your cab design.
I
room.
didn't really. He's going to kill me. No, I didn't have. I didn't have anything. I didn't see the finished article. I just helped him sort of lift the cabs into the room.
Well, he's got two absolute classics there, Asteroids and Centipede, and I love the fact that you can see the side art on them, because they're some of the best, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Iconic cabinets, and it's lovely to see the artwork. Looks like a great room.
It is. It's at the bottom of his garden. It's really nice. It's well lit.
Is it? Yeah. It looks like he's playing some sort of driving game on that free screen TV as well, on that monitor.
Yeah, can we zoom in?
Looks like it's good for driving games as well. No, it's a cool room.
Yeah. And this is from Stacey King. Yeah, Stacey King. On the last podcast, you mentioned showing your games room. Well, mine is a tiny cupboard in our bedroom that in a previous life was an ensuite. But it's my space, the only part of the house where my wife has no jurisdiction over. I also work from home here 2 days a week. He sent us a 50-second video of it. And it's just him like trying to move around in his little room. I've done 2 little snapshots, and I've done a link to the video. It's on X, and there's a link you can have a look at it. But yeah, it's a tiny little room, but it does the trick.
Oh, definitely. I mean, did you ever come to my first games room? It was tiny, wasn't it? I think it was only, well, me and Vic built it. Well, I did the brickwork, and then Vic come over and helped me with the carpentry and stuff. We put the roof on, and because I was helping him do his room at the time as well. And I think it was only, what was it, 12 foot by 8 foot, something like that. It was tiny, like a shed-sized room. But I managed to cram 4 Nintendo uprights and 4 Nintendo cocktails in there, and you could hardly swing a cat in there. It was so small.
I might have done. I've probably gone to your previous one, which was a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you moved. I went to that one a couple of times.
Yeah, but I loved that room. It was cosy. You know, really cosy. Yeah, it's great seeing other people's games rooms. So yeah, plenty more pics, guys. Want to see more game room pics? These are awesome.
Yeah, thank you for that, lads.
Arcade news.
Arcade news. This is arcade news, really. Alpha One, Oliver Morozesi, has been on the telly talking about tinnitus on BBC. So I've linked to that article, and he's been struggling with tinnitus. I have had it most of my adult life, I would think, because the problem is I went to all these really, really loud raves when I was younger and didn't like protect my ears, and my ears were ringing for days afterwards, and I think that's what done it. But my right ear is quite bad. But I honestly I forget I've got it and I live with it. Yeah. And when I think, oh, I've got tinnitus, then all I can hear is a tinnitus. But yeah, I just kind of, I don't know, I've kind of blocked it out over the years.
I think people do, but some people can't block it out. With Ollie's case, because I know he's been suffering for it for quite a while now, and he was really bad. We were all quite worried about him. He got an infection, and the doctor gave him some droplets, and that made it worse. In fact, that's what caused the tinnitus.
Oh, no.
And my partner, Nush, took the droplets, exactly the same droplets, and she got it as well.
What,
and
tinnitus?
it hasn't got. Yeah. So we've been kind of warning everybody against using these antibiotic droplets that they put in your ear for ear infections and stuff, because it can perforate your eardrum, and that's when you get your tinnitus. So just be careful, guys, before you start sticking stuff in your ear, because it can be quite life-changing, you know, and can be quite depressing for some people. If you've got that constantly, you can imagine, it was louder, you know, than a normal conversation. And you can imagine how frustrating that is. You know, it's like when you're on a phone call with someone and someone else is talking behind you, you can't concentrate. You have to go into the next room. Well, imagine having that and you can't go anywhere. It's just there all the time. It must be so, you know, frustrating, to say the least.
Yeah, I haven't got it that bad. I've learned to like block it out, but honestly, it couldn't be as bad as what Ollie's experiencing.
Oh, it has died down a bit now, and he has managed to kind of cope with it. But yeah, interesting. Definitely read that article. It was quite fascinating. Other arcade news. Did you see the iRobot trailer?
No.
This is awesome. So this is the new game from Jeff Minter. So Jeff Minter's been working on some Atari products that were released, some Atari games that were released years ago, and just kind of rejuvenated. I guess that's a word. Rejuvenated some of these games, because for the modern audience, some of these old games are a little bit boring, and he's just put a little bit of rock and roll back into some of these games. Jeff Minter style, and I met, a funny thing is, I met Jeff Minter at the Crash event last year. I think I was there promoting the Arcade Archive, and he came up to me because we had Archie McLean's Millipede there, and he loves arcade machines, and naturally he's going to come up and start asking and wanting to play them. And we started chatting, because the last time I met Jeff, he was at a pinball meet, South Coast Slam. This was years ago, and he had that Tempest 4000 running on a PSP, and I had a good chat with him then, so I already knew him. So I didn't feel awkward chatting to him, because he's a bit of a legend, isn't he, in the industry?
Yeah. And
I said to him, what are you working on next? You working on new Atari games? He said, yeah, we definitely are. I said, how about you visit iRobot? And he just looked at me, his jaw dropped, and they looked at his partner, and they just thought, as if to say, how did he know?
Yeah.
How does he know we're working on iRobot?
Oh, no.
I mean, for me, iRobot is the ideal choice for Jeff Minter, because it's a little bit out there. It was back in the day. It was it was way ahead of its time, iRobot. I don't think that's why it did so well. I think Atari only made 500 cabinets, so it's an extremely rare cabinet, highly desirable amongst collectors. I was lucky enough to play one in Twickenham back in the day. People find this hard to believe because they only made 500, and I played one. I seriously did. And in actual fact, me and Ollie picked one up about 5 years ago from Acton, and it had to be exactly the same one as I played when I was a kid. It had to be. Acton's only 5 miles up the road from Twickenham. So it had to be the same one. And, it's just one of those games that people didn't get back in the day because it was 3D. It was the first game to have polygon graphics. And there's different levels, or different viewpoints, I should say, that you can play the game. And that the better the viewpoint, the less points you get. So the lower the viewpoint you play the game, the more points you get, because it's harder to see what's coming up on the horizon. Right. So it's got some interesting game mechanics. I really like it. I think it's a fantastic game. And to see Jeff Minter revisit that and, give it the love that it needs is great. It's funny because when I saw the tweet, everyone was going, oh, they're making a Will Smith game. After the film iRobot. It's got nothing. No one knows about the Atari game iRobot. They just naturally thought it was a Will Smith film. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. It looks awesome. Check it out. It looks really, really cool. Obviously, he's added more stuff to it to make it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Podcast pickups.
I've got nothing, mate, again. I've got various things for the house. Oh, I've got a new carpet. That's quite a pickup, isn't it?
You got a new carpet? You didn't pick that up, though. You got someone else to pick that up.
Yeah, got someone else to do it, yeah. It's in the living room, the stairs, the upstairs landing. Most of the house has been recarpeted. Not this room, because there's too much in it. Can't get anything out.
Yeah, so make sure you take your shoes off when you're walking.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I've got some vinyl, mate.
Go on.
As always. I've got to be picking up I picked up some vinyl in that little record shop in Salisbury. I've got a classic here. Gary Newman's The Pleasure Principle, which I think it was his first album, 1979. Great album. Early synthwave record. classic album as well. Have you seen that, Shaun? Ever heard of that before?
I haven't. I did like early Human League stuff.
Yeah.
Like the sound of the crowd and being boiled and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Really good beats in them, dude.
Well, you got the classic tracks on here: Cars,
All right.
Films, Metal. You know Cars, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on there. Good to pick that up. The Doors' first album, self-titled album, The Doors. I love The Doors, man. I was so into The Doors in my sort of late teens. I loved that whole kind of beatnik era. Used to read all the Jack Kerouac books, on the road. I don't know if you read them.
Jack Kerouac, yeah, I've tried to a couple of times. It's just mad, isn't it?
Yeah,
but
used to love all that stuff.
They said they've reissued it and toned it down so people would understand what's going on.
Yeah,
I think I read that one. But yeah, I love The Doors. I got one of my sort of side quests from techno when I'm bored, so I listen to quite a bit of Jimi Hendrix and I listen to The Doors as well. I've got a four pack of Morrison Hotel and all them lot. But the best album by far, I think, and a lot of people think, is the first album, just called The Doors. People
that's that one.
Yeah, 1967 was it or something?
It's 67. Yeah. It's got Break On Through, Soul Kitchen, Light My Fire, which is the big hit they had, Backdoor Man. And The End, which I loved. I used to love The End.
Oh, is it 11 minutes or something? Yeah.
They just actually. I don't know if you watch Rick Benito. He's got a YouTube channel, massive YouTube channel, over 1 million subs. But he interviews some fantastic musicians from back in the day and new ones as well. But he just recently interviewed Robbie Kruger and John Desmore. And that was lovely to see them both on there, because obviously Ray Manzarek and Jim had now passed away. But they played together right at the end, and that was lovely to see. Really enjoyed that. And I picked up a favourite of mine from the 80s, Aha, Hunting High and Low. I used to love this album as well. It's funny, I remember they recorded their video to The Sun Always Shines on TV in Teddington. And we heard about it, the school heard about it, and they filmed the video for that song at St Albans Church. And all the kids went down there on their BMXs and was all hanging out, mainly all the girls, trying to get a kiss or an autograph from Morten Harket. I'll never forget that day. It was a lovely summer's day. We all rode down there on our bikes. It's right near Thames Studios, and saw the band recording the video to that song. So yeah, fond memories for me, that album of the 80s. Really, really cool album.
I think that Take On Me. That was the breakout single, but the video was so clever, wasn't it?
It was.
How it was mixing cartoons with like real life.
Yeah.
Very clever. I think that was like half of the appeal of that song, really.
Yeah. Was you buying any records like that then, Shaun, back in the day? Any pop records?
No, not pop records.
You obviously heard or saw that video. Was you not inspired to go out and buy the single or anything like that?
No, I was getting into like early electro stuff, I think. So I was buying the Street Sounds electro albums, but that might have been a bit later, like 85.
No, that was earlier.
Was it 83, 84? Street Sounds electro. Yeah, I loved them because they were hip hop beats. They called it electro then, electro hip hop. Yeah. Because it was a bit of a Kraftwerk influence with a lot of the tracks as well.
Yeah. Well, I was into that as well, but I was into pop chart music as well as rock and everything. I mean, if I could get any music, I'd listen to it. I just enjoyed music so much. All types of music, really, back then. Yeah, so it's really cool to get some more vinyl back in the collection. Picked up a couple of games, not much. This month, I picked up the new Raiden game, Nova. Have you seen that? Do you like Raiden, Shaun?
Raiden.
Okay, Raiden. I say Raiden.
Raiden. Go on, what have you got?
Nova. Raiden Nova, I just said.
Yeah.
You not heard of it?
No, is it new one?
It's a twin-stick shooter.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It doesn't play very well.
For a Raiden.
Yeah, it doesn't play very well at all. It was too easy. It was too easy, the game. You're just kind of floating around. Just feels like you're floating around the screens, waiting for the big boss to come in. Yeah, it wasn't really that great.
What's that on? Like Switch or something?
Switch, yeah. Well, it's on lots of consoles. It's probably on the PS5 as well. So yeah, got that. Bit disappointed in that. Got some Mega Drive games. Got Raiden
Yeah.
on the Mega Drive. That's a classic. And Thunder Force 2 and 3. They're brilliant shooters. You not played them, Shaun?
I have on the Mega Drive, yeah.
Oh, you have? Oh,
Yeah.
thank God. Last. You played something that I...
And Thunder Force AC on the arcade. You played that one? It's quite similar.
Yeah. Great games. Really good games. I think there's another one. So it's Thunder Force, the original. Did that come out on the Master System or something? Because I think it starts just 2 and 3. I don't think there's a Thunder Force 1 on the Mega Drive.
Oh,
Do you know?
I played a couple of them. It might have started with 3 and 4. We'll have to look up that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, really.
Friendly shout-outs.
Shout-outs. I'm going to give a shout-out to Jason and Claire, the managers at Arcade Club Leeds, who looked after me and fed me and made me drinks. And not made me drinks, give me drinks, and thank you for that. Also, all the people I met there. I hope I'm not going to miss anybody. Let's start with DJ Rouge and his son Joe, Jimmy. It was Valentine's Day, right? It's Valentine's Day, so a lot of these couples were coming in.
Yeah.
Me and Jim stood there, and Jim said, shall we be a couple, because there's all these couples coming in. Felt a bit... They must have had a Valentine deal on, come in with your partner and get him for a cheaper venue, a cheaper price. But it started filling up with like non-couples. Yeah, Jimmy, Tim and his mate Paul. So all of us were playing pins. So we loved that. And then
nice.
We had to walk around the arcade and play a load of arcades. So shout out to them lot. Had a really good night. That was last Friday just gone.
Do you like Leeds over Bury?
No. I'll always be. My heart's always in Bury because I work there, obviously. And there's something about, especially the top floor. There's a vibe there that you don't get with Leeds. Leeds is more of a sort of a brighter arcade, the top floor, but it's pristine. It's so clean, and all the games are well kept. And they are at Bury, but Bury's the one I always like the best. Plus, there's 4 floors now, so you can go. There's like a whole room full of candies. So there's lots of bullet hells on all good shooters. There's lots of fighters there.
Yeah.
There's.
You can almost forget the first floor though in Arcade Club Bury, though, can't you? It's just full of, I don't know, not games that I'm interested in.
There's a ground floor now. Recently.
Well, that's what I mean. As soon as you walk in there, it's just loads of kids running about. It just feels like a creche area for me. It does.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like an arcade. It feels like any other place by the sea. But you get up the top and it's great. It's great, but I'm not so keen on the downstairs. I couldn't wait to get out of there and get right up the top. That's where it's at. That's for me anyway.
Yeah.
But Leeds, I have been to Leeds, but it's been a while since I've been there.
Yeah, it's got a big open cafe now. Open
you
restaurant.
look down, don't you, on the sort of ground floor? You can see over, can't you?
Yeah, there's a mezzanine, and you can sit at cocktail tables and play Mario Kart or whatever on screens that are on the wall, like 85-inch screens. So sit looking over the mezzanine on these screens on the wall. That's great.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other rooms upstairs. There's a fighting room and a VR room upstairs as well. You keep going up.
Yeah,
cool. It's very good. Very good. I love it. But Blackpool's good as well. Blackpool's got its own vibe as well, and it's all on one floor, which is good. So you never lose anybody. Well, there was a ground floor as well, but
yeah. Well, I'm going to give a shout out to the Retro Collective, Richard, who finally found my chassis for my Defender. Been looking for that for a year and could not find it. I know Holly's been struggling to find it. Because my Defender's been sitting here now for a year, and it's my favourite game. So it's starting to get to me. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah, I reached out to Richard, and he found it within a couple of hours. So Richard, thank you so much for that, mate. It's already on the workbench getting fixed by my good friend Mark Whiting down in London. So hopefully I'll get that back very soon. And I just wanted to mention, because I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, what happened with you in the Arcade Archive?" Well, if you haven't seen the video, because I did do videos on it, I left basically because I just couldn't afford to be there. It's as simple as that. I got out because it took so much time and needed so much energy. And if I can't put my 100% into something, I've got to get out of it, because it needs someone there to put that amount of time into it to make it work, because it is a business at the end of the day, and it's not making a lot of money. These guys, and when I was there, were doing it pretty much voluntarily. And it's really the community holding the Arcade Archive together. Because as a YouTuber, I wasn't making a lot of money, and that was taking up a lot of time. So, to stay afloat, I actually started selling a lot of my collection, and got to a point where I thought, well, I can't sell everything. If this carries on, I'll be left with nothing. So I just had to make probably one of the biggest and toughest decisions in my life, and that was to leave. But it's all amicable, and, I still plan to go back and finish the Gunfight arcade machine, the EM. I want to go back and do that, and the Atari Sprint, because that was another project I did a lot of work on. I'd like to go back and finish that. And if you guys are ever thinking of going down there, they've got new games in there now. I think they've got the Tapper work in there, which looks absolutely gorgeous. And of course, Richard's worked on those 3D printed Computer Space and Space Race, because they're pretty much unobtainable. You never get anything like that. So it's pretty amazing that he's managed to 3D print something like that. It's very, very cool.
Has he done Space Race as well?
Yeah.
Or 3D printed?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it makes me wonder what else he could do. And I think, actually, I remember having this conversation with him. I think he could make, because it has to be kind of plastic, 3D printed. It's got to be plastic. So he could make a Williams blaster, couldn't he? Have you seen that game? It's like a Dura mold.
Yeah, I played it. Yeah, it's Galloping Ghost. That's where I saw it.
Yeah, it's quite rare. They did a wooden one, obviously.
Yeah.
But they did a plastic one as well. It looks like, I don't know, what does it look like? Like a capsule or space capsule. That you get. It's quite odd. He could actually make an iRobot, Richard, you could actually make an iRobot. Is he
listening, mate? Come on. You got some spare time?
That would be
Not really.
super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. And you can maybe you could get him to run both games, the new Jeff Minter game as well. That'd be even cooler. But yeah, there we go. That's the story of the Ark. There's not a lot else to say about it, really. It is what it is, and those guys are trying to carry it on the best they can, and I wish them all the best of luck. And, go down and support it. I think they've just done a fundraiser, like a digital package that you can buy of various bits and bobs that people have kind of not donated, but helped with this package. So you can buy kind of music, game music, even downloads of games and stuff like that, just to raise the money so they can refurbish the pump house, because they want to make that the whole entrance room as you go into the Arcade Archive, which is a fantastic idea. So yeah, go and support those guys. They need it. My heart's still down there, but life goes on. Life goes on, Shaun, and we've got to keep busy and do our thing.
We have. Right, let's go to feedback.
Listener feedback.
Right, first one from Mr. Funk on UK VAC. There's quite a bit here. Wanted to flag this episode of the podcast for those who haven't already seen it. This is the one from Ollie Alpha 1. It's a cracker. Loved every minute of it. I get all the personal tales. He's saying, Ollie, get all the personal tales compiled in a book or on a dedicated archive site somewhere. The personal take on the stories are incredible and need preserving themselves, even if some are squirreled away in the raids forum here. For people that missed out on the glory days of the raids, like me, it's amazing to hear such good stories. There is still raids going on, but like he said, there's probably not massive amounts to be found in this country anymore.
No, I think there's still a lot to be found in Europe and in America. And in fact, I still see that quite a lot, but probably less so in the UK. I think if anything, and you wouldn't want to call these a raid really, but when someone passes and the family reach out to get help with selling this stuff that they've inherited, that's how it's going to be. A little bit like the one we did up in York, sadly, that's the way it will be going forward. Probably me next.
Oh, I know, I don't say that.
But, well, it'll happen one day, let's face it, Craig Goodwin's place. He says, "Hi, Bo. Funny, Alex." Said he's talking about Dungeons and Dragons pinball that we saw at EAG. He says that the Dungeons and Dragons artwork is exactly what I thought. Very generic, like it's been created by AI. But apparently it's been done by the Dungeons and Dragon artist Vincent Prose. The cabinet looked a bit empty for such a great game. Yeah, I wasn't that impressed with the Dungeons and Dragons, and I was so looking forward to that. He also says, "I'll have a crack at Nibbler. I love the puzzle game and was pretty handy with Snake on my Nokia 3210 phone back in the day. Cheers, Craig." Cheers, Craig.
I've had a look at. Also from Mr. Funk, so he's put things that today that I never thought I would see. A kid on a bus stop dancing to Shaun Holly's Biscuit review beats while I was stuck in traffic jam with the window open. Really? The kids today are calling for it to be dropped on white label wax, boy. That's amazing.
It is
Biscuit
amazing.
Review, but it is a catchy tune.
Yeah. Neil Bullitt. Dr. Huh?
He's Dr. Goggles, Nail Bullet.
Oh, is it? Nail Bullet.
He's got
Okay.
a surname Bullet. How cool is that?
That is a cool name. That's a bomb name.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Mr. Bullet. Goggle Bullets.
He says, "Nibbler, what a great choice. Simple but enjoyable. I'm heading to the arcade club in a couple of weeks, so I look forward to playing the real machine. All the best. Dr. Godless," I think. Oh, really? Is it that enjoyable? That's a Rockola game, isn't it? I didn't even know they had one at the arcade club.
Yeah. This is at Leeds. I don't know if it's at Bury.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right. Pingy from UK Back. I listened to this episode today, Oll's Raid, and what an effing great one it was. Loved every second of it. I've read about the French raid and the Duke of Lancaster one, but still enjoyed it very much. And to top it all, we got the Zimbabwe story. Absolutely bonkers it was.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Alpha One. You are a great storyteller, giving so much details, but still feels like you can have more, and you're scratching just the surface. Can you please write a book about your journey? That's another
That
one.
would be an excellent book. Did he talk about the Zimbabwe story?
Yeah, quite
Briefly.
Briefly, yeah.
Yeah, that was mad. Rygar, nice pod, guys. Very entertaining as usual. Just one thing. It was bonuses, not bosses.
When we were talking about the bonuses on, what was it? Vapor Trail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were talking about...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. He said there was no bonuses.
And we thought he said bosses.
Yes, so I do apologise, Rygar. Alan. Stuart Tracy. Gutted I missed this one. I have an original PCB, but someone borrowed it and hasn't given it back. Who could that be? I think I was pretty decent at it too, so I reckon I could have gotten more than 1 point on your leaderboard. Oh, that's a shame. So whoever's got Stuart Tracy's Vapor Trail PCB, please give it back.
Yeah, he runs a Time Warp arcade, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Jason Darrington, first arcade cab I ever owned, had a Vapor Trail in it. Decent game.
Martin from the Hobby Lodge, really enjoyed this, guys. We'll certainly be listening in more, and we'll go back and check the back catalogue. Thanks for the kind words, Alex.
David, this is from your site,
Yeah.
YouTube, isn't it? David, retro games played badly. Oh yeah, keep at the company. Keeping me company at work as usual. Keep considering a pinball. Repaired Jurassic Park a few years back for a mate. Would love a Judge Dredd. Ooh.
Yeah.
great podcast type thingy.
Maybe you can go down and nab that one from the high school arcade in Salisbury. One there. I think those type of pins are quite reasonably priced. When I say they're sort of cab prices, $2,000, $2,500. I think, I don't know, Judge Dredd. It's not a well-known pinball, is it? But I think it's an obtainable one for a reasonable price. That would be a good one. It's a great theme. Really good theme. Simon Perry, enjoyed your middle-aged ramblings as ever. Checked out Fantasyland, colourful and fun platformer. Fantasyland was one of those PCBs that I found amongst that 100. And I was so looking forward to playing it. And it works, but there's no sound with it. And I was going to do it on a video, but I can't do it if there's no sound. I will get it fixed, Simon. I hope you've played it, though, and let us know what you think, because it looks absolutely bonkers.
Biscuit review, I learned about you. Biscuit review.
Biscuit review. Morrison's the best all butter dark chocolate gingers. Mr. Messi said something about gingers, didn't he? Gingerbread, ginger biscuits. You get halfway down the packet and get bored. These were okay. They were all right. All butter dark chocolate. They're only 8 in a pack, so they're quite should be
8?
fine.
Is that all?
That's because they're the best. They don't. It might have been 10. They don't need to be more. You've got to enjoy them. They are all right. All right.
Why are they just all right, Shaun?
I think I had the ginger effect after
You're
a
not
few.
into ginger?
No.
No, I like ginger.
You like it in a beer, don't you?
I like it. Yeah, I mean, I love ginger. I love ginger beer, ginger chocolate. It's really nice. It's good for you and all. Very good for you. Good for your tummy. Very good for your tummy.
I like it in small doses, apparently, looking at this. But yeah, no, decent. We're both looking at each other. Who's going to go next? Right, I'll go next.
Featured game. Well, you chose it.
No, we're doing this first bit first. What music were we listening to in What music were we listening to in 1982?
We're going back.
I was 12, so it was basically what was on my parents' record player at home, as we called it, stereo. My mum had Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra, start spreading the news, I'm leaving today. And also, my dad liked ABBA. He's the dancing queen, young and free as air. So,
oh my God, that would be my worst nightmare.
So I grew up with
Frank Sinatra and ABBA.
Oh, not so much ABBA, but yeah, Frank Sinatra.
That's like my granddad's type of music.
Well, this was
not my dad's music.
1980s. This
yeah, but Frank Sinatra's is from the 50s.
He kept on going, didn't he?
He did, yeah, but he was mainly you associate that kind of music with the sort of 1950s. Really, I would say so, because my parents sort of kind of not rebelled against it, but they found it quite boring, and that's when you had kind of like the Rolling Stones come along and the Beatles doing something a little bit different. So it was around about that time. It was about 50s, 60s, I would say.
Oh, yeah. My mum was she was a young girl, like probably 17, 18 when the Beatles were massive. Yeah, she got caught up in all the Beatle craze as well. Yeah.
So you were just listening to your parents' stuff then at that time?
I didn't have any...
Your memory's not good enough, is it?
I didn't have any
You can't
choice.
remember.
No.
Okay. Well, there were some fantastic... bands in the 80s, 82 especially. It's a great year. We've got, Michael Jackson's Thriller, the best-selling album of all time.
Was that 82?
Yeah. You're telling me you were never listening to that?
It was on the radio. It's on the radio.
It was everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you not want to go out and buy it?
Nah.
No.
Oh, God. No, it's enough to be on the radio. I think I was like hankering for these beats that were coming in electro hip hop for next year, I think.
Yeah. So I loved the Beat It song he did with Van Halen. That was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, I think every kid was listening to that. Whether you like it now or not, it's a different thing. But I think at the time you couldn't go anywhere without Thriller being played literally everywhere. It was that big an album. Do you know what I mean? And even if you didn't like it, it's going to evoke memories of that time, you know. Roxy Music, Avalon, another great album. Simple Minds, New Gold Dream, great album. And probably my favourite of that year would be Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast with Run to the Hills. I remember actually going to Wolves to get that single. I loved that single. And seeing them on Top of the Pops. Top of the Pops, the BBC tried to get Maiden to mime. And they didn't want to mime. We're not going on and miming. We were a live band, you know. I think they did mime in the end, but they did it all wrong. They weren't miming to the record. They were just mucking about on Top of the Pops, which was quite funny back then because not many people did that. So, yeah, what a great year. Great year of music.
Yeah, 1982, yeah. I think probably, just what was on the radio and stuff, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
Feature game review.
The featured game review. This was my pick. Sorry, listeners. I thought it'd be quite popular. It is Nibbler by Rock Ola 1982. Four-way stick. You've got to have a four-way stick because it's so
impossible.
Intensely fast. No buttons. This game plays similar to a version of the old Nokia phone game called Snake, but it's set in a maze. That you could describe it like that. There is a 2015 movie called Man vs. Snake, the long and twisted tale of Nibbler chronicling Tim McVeigh's attempts to be the first player to get 1 billion points. This was the first game to go to 1 billion points.
Yeah. I tried looking for that film and could not find it anywhere. I tried Netflix, Apple TV, my dodgy stick. I just couldn't find it anywhere. Impossible to find. I think the only way to watch that is get the DVD. Or if anyone's got a copy of it and they don't mind sending it to me, I'd love to watch it.
What I got, when we went to Pixel Blast in 2018, me and Vic went to Pixel Blast Arcade and little sort of trading estate on the outskirts of Illinois, Chicago. And the guy there knew Jeff Lee, who was the co-creator of Q*bert, and I've got a signed picture of Q*bert still blasting at Pixel Blast, the arcade, and I had a signed one of Tim McVeigh, the Man vs. Snake, and I had that signed by him, but gave them to me by the guy who owned the Pixel Blast, and I've been looking, I cannot find that anywhere, that signed.
And is he still the world champion at this game?
No, I think there's people that's beaten him since, but he was the first one in 2011, I think. Yeah, there's people that have got more since then, but I think he did it after 6 unsuccessful attempts and passed out after one of them. I don't know how long it'd take. I think it took him like 2 days or something stupid. Anyway, well done, Tim McVeigh, for making history on getting the first 1 billion points on a game. Very simple scoring this is. For food items, you get... We haven't described the game, have we? Just go around a maze.
Well, there's not a lot to it, is there?
Just go around... Hang on.
Well, you go around a maze picking these things. You've got a time limit, haven't you?
I've got it now. I've got the instruction.
You got it. Okay, you got it. Go on then.
On the track... This is the track screen. Mate, a screenshot of it. Clear each maze before time runs out. Got you. Do not let Nibbler bite itself. Do not run into your own tail. Nibbler does not stop at corners. So you've got like a second or less than that before he starts moving again. Nibbler grows longer when it eats. Time decreases faster when Nibbler does not eat. Bonus time is left at the end of the wave. Bonus is the time left at the end of the wave. Every Nibbler, every 4 waves. I never got to wave 4, I think.
No.
Anyway, that's your instructions, kids. That's a brilliant track mode. Tells you everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's not a lot to it. Not a lot on it.
Right, tips and secrets. No secrets. Nibbler does pause for a split second when it hits a corner, so use this pause to decide your next turn. God, try to collect the items on the inside of the maze first, as you can work your way to the outer edges and move relatively safer when Nibbler is longer. Didn't think about that.
Yeah, it makes sense to go for the stuff in the middle first. As your tail gets longer, it's more difficult to navigate in the middle, especially as the maze gets tighter and tighter. definitely.
So you've got to pattern it, haven't you? You've definitely got to pattern it, but I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those games that, after a while you're going to know a route. You're learning the route, aren't you? But it just didn't inspire me to learn any of the routes. It was, well, we'll get into it. Well, we can now. It's just like, it's got no risk reward element to it. And I just, there's no secrets, no bonuses. I don't know. Yeah, it just doesn't inspire me to have another go. It really doesn't. The graphics are very simple, aren't they? There's no really any enemies at all except yourself. You're your own worst enemy in this game, aren't you?
Yeah. Right. There's basic sounds in it, and graphics are very basic and simple. There's different colours on the mazes and different mazes. But when we went to Arcade Club Leeds, there is a little tune playing in the background, which is not on MAME. So I recorded it. That's me crashing. Yeah, so there's music in it.
Was it a cassette, the music? Because some of those early Rockola games had cassettes, didn't they? I'm just wondering why that's maybe why it's not in MAME. What's that one? Thief. That's Rockola, isn't it? That's got a cassette. I'm sure it does. Cassette audio.
I'm trying to look what they did. They did one called Demon. I don't remember that.
Yeah. Thief. You did Thief for the podcast, didn't you? Sure you did.
No, I don't remember that one.
No?
No.
Do you remember John's Arcade had the machine? He was restoring it. I'm sure it had a cassette tape, like the Deco cassettes. Maybe that's why it's not included on MAME. I don't know.
Oh, it could be. Right, so that was it. That was the sound. But it's decent. It's better than none. Yeah, so strange that it's not in MAME, but like you said, it could be a cassette thing. So we're going to get to some scores.
High score countdown.
Scores on the board, Miss Ford. Right. At the bottom, we have Tin with 1 point, with 1,000 points. And he says, think he emailed Biscuits his score, but it's been hacked. So I'm just guessing at this. What does that mean, Shaun?
I think Biscuits got hacked. I got 300 emails on Saturday night. 300, and they're all from different things. Yeah, I don't know what it was. And like the postmaster or whatever controls the emails coming in rejected them all. But there's like 350 rejections of these emails. So I don't know what happened.
That's weird.
So it's really hard for me to find anyone that put a score in.
Right,
so I found them all though. Stacey King, 1,700. Not feeling this one at all. Couldn't get past the second screen because the speed was too much for my limited feel of the controls. I checked out earlier and only got this score.
I'm with you on that, Stacey. Totally with you on that. Basil the Sane got 3,400. Basil the Sane says, Wave 3. Gave it a few goes, but just couldn't get on with it. Just too frustrating to control. I got 3,800.
Ross got 11,470.
Adam Flint, 11,740.
John Turner, 12,820.
Oblisky, 15,000.
Me, I don't know how I got this score. I think I just got a few multipliers. I got onto level 4 or 5. 16,690. I've never got anywhere near that score after that.
Mr. Messi, 16,760.
Zestora, 17,040.
Retro Russ, 21,870. Too much nobbling, not enough nibbling.
He's our official podcast image creator. Have you seen them all?
Yeah, brilliant.
They are brilliant. Dr. Goggles, Niall, 1 point. We're in the points. No, we're not yet. 21,890.
One Punch Rob, 21,970. Trying for a high score on the actual machine for a change at the arcade club. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it is. Mark, What No Gravy, 22,050.
Drumsy, 23,810.
The creator of the SIDEKICK app. Brian Haribo, 35,660. Not a game for old folks. Might be my last and only score.
Old man Steve, 38,070.
Beanie, 3 points, 44,980. Wow, what a tough little game.
Mitsuyama, Stephen Bell, 4 points with 50,420.
Matthew Bridge, 5 points with 61,970.
Mr. Berserker, 6 points with 76,930. Nibbler, been a while for me. Took a while to get used to the speed. My brain hurts. Ha 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 ha, says.
Jimmy, right? Jimmy, 97,800. He free-handed this. He didn't pattern it. 7 points. Me and Jimmy played loads of pinballs together on last Friday. Played a couple of games on the Nibbler cab at AC Leeds last night. Breaking news, the original cab had music playing in the background. So that's the audio I've just played.
Interesting. Rygar, 8 points, 101,500. I seem to have reached a bit of a plateau with this. Still determined to break 100k, but it won't be today. And then he did.
He did it. In second place with 9 points is Sal Bug. Well done. 119,240. I never gave this game a chance before, but after playing it obsessively for a week, it's really grown on me. Not sure I'll add it to my favourites list, though, as it seems more of a memory game. It is. It definitely has that one more go factor. Ooh, not for me.
He likes the weird ones, doesn't he?
He likes the skanky ones as our
Not
Sal.
bloke.
He likes the janky, skanky ones, he does.
Is he? He's a bit janky looking, isn't he?
I don't know, I've never seen him. He could be.
Hey, Skyway, 73. He's top of the pops with 10 points, 119,700. I know some people prefer to play Pac-Man with the speed up hack. What Nibbler needs is a slowdown hack. Would make for a half decent game then. I think just chuck the game, smash it up. Right off the edge of a pier and forget about it. It doesn't need a slow down hack. It's just absolutely pants. It's rubbish. It's frustrating. It's boring. There's just nothing about it that excites me.
Oh, okay. So what did you really think?
Well, how many 10p's would you put in that back in the day?
Well, I'll put 3 because
3?
Yeah, because 1 and 2 you going, God, that went quick. And then you put the third one in, you said, yeah, I shouldn't have put the first 2 in. So three 10p's.
I'll put 10p in just to see what it was like and then realise what a waste of time and money that was. Well, thankfully, I don't remember seeing this back in the day.
No,
so this is actually quite... I mean, obviously, I've heard of Nibbler over the last 10, 20 years and probably played it 10 years ago and thought exactly the same and never played it again. I think you've got to have some nostalgia to like this game, really. Be that dedicated about it. Because if you haven't, and this is the first time you've played it, it's not got a lot going for it, Shaun. It really hasn't. Not for me.
Did you know, I think this may be one of the only games without any enemies in. There's no enemies, is there? You just collect...
Well, the only enemy is yourself.
Yeah.
You get too big, you're too greedy, get too fat, too long, and you're like colliding up your own butthole.
Yeah, I just thought of that. I wonder if there's any more any listeners know any games with no enemies in. Please let us know.
That's a very weird thought to have.
Yeah. I do like weird thinking, me. So, right. Next show's game.
Next show's game.
It's your pick, Mr. Crowley.
This is a good one, guys.
It looks all right.
It looks all right.
I've played it. I've played it in the past, but I'm going to really get into it now because it's a shooter.
It is. I played it. Me and Tony did a video on it last week. We both picked a game that we had never played before. He picked Thunder Blaster by IREM, and I picked Section Z by Capcom. And I mentioned this to a few people, and I thought, yeah, that's a classic. So I've had one go on it, and so far I really like it, but I haven't got that far. If you watch the video, you'll see. But it's a really good game, so give this one a go, guys.
Right. So Section Z, Capcom 1985, 8-way stick and 2 buttons, fire and reverse direction. Bit of a defender thing going on there. These are all the default settings that are coming up. Lives 3, difficulty normal, bonus life at 20k and 50k, and every 50k thereafter. I think it's every 50k thereafter. It is on Arcade and it is on Twin Galaxies, but it doesn't say it in the dips. So 20k, 50k, and every 50k thereafter. No continues, obviously, kids. We don't want you continue to play through it and get a feel for it, and then go for a real score. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Right, your deadline. Got another month. Is Saturday, the 15th of March, 2025. Mad, isn't it? 5 p.m. UK time. You can put your score on Twitter or X as hashtag 10p score, 10p score, or on the Sidekick app in the 10 pence sub club section. Email biscuits@10pencearcade.com. Hope it's not a hack still. Facebook. I was doing silly voices. Facebook as a comment on our podcast post. It's facebook.com 10 pence arcade. UK VAC on the podcast post thread if you're on there. No submissions from console or computer complications, as they may be different. The exception of this is to the Evercade, because we know that they use legit ROMs. And obviously no continues, unless you want to play through it, like I said, get a good score and then go for it with one credit. That's what I kind of do.
Yeah. Brilliant. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never played it before, Shaun?
I have vaguely. Is it this one and then Sidearms? It's a series, isn't it? Sidearms.
Yeah, I think it's a sort of prequel or predecessor to sort of Forgotten Worlds, because it's Capcom, isn't it? Well, Sidearms is Capcom, so they've got a theme going there. They obviously had a bit of success and just kind of elaborated on that with Sidearms, which is a great game. I mean, it's a button basher, but I mean, it's a good game. And then they went with the rotary sticks for Forgotten Worlds. That's a great game, Forgotten Worlds. You played that? I suppose you can't, can you? You need rotary sticks to play that, really. I'd love to have a kind of rotary stick set up in a jammer cab, because you've got a few good games, haven't you, like that?
You could have a spinner kind of.
Yeah, yeah. Joystick spinner, 8-way stick spinner set up. Yeah, that would work. There's some of those, though, you push down to fire as well, don't you? On the rotary stick. There's no fire button.
Yeah,
yeah. You'd need a button as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Section Z. A really cool game.
Right, mate. Thank you very much for podcasting with me again.
No, it's been great, as always, dude. Hopefully this month won't fly past as quickly. And we can get some bobs done, have a bit more news for you next time, and play some more games, because it just feels like it's gone so quickly this month. I haven't played anything much, really, or done much, you know. I think once the spring, I think it's going to get warmer this week, Shaun, so once the spring comes and get out and about and do stuff, have a bit more to talk about, you know. Yeah. So yeah, cheers, mate. Been great doing it with you. And guys, thanks very much for listening. As always, get your scores in. And don't forget to get your pictures in as well. I'd love to see any pictures of your arcade. What I've seen of Mark Happy Dude's one is awesome.
Yeah.
And if you ever want me to come around and do a game room tour, I'm up for that as well. I'm always looking for new game room tours, new places to go and see. I love doing all that. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Shaun, thanks for doing this again.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I'll catch you on the next one.
And we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, guys.
Cheers.